Hello everybody, how you doing? Crystal here again. For those who don't know me, my name is Crystal, and I have I know for the past year and a half been battling a parasite in my body. I believe it's Morgellons, from my research or whatever in doing it. Haven't been diagnosed with that because when I went to the hospital, when I first discovered it, they told me I was crazy, even though I took them pictures and videos to show them. Actually took my microscope, I have a microscope here or whatever where I've seen stuff. Actually took my microscope in so they could see for themselves, and they refused to look at it. They said that I was suffering from a psychosis called delusions of parasitosis or whatever, where I believed I had worms in my body and whatnot, but I actually didn't. I told them they were messed up. I had pictures. I'm not the one that took them, so I know that I wasn't crazy or whatever and do it. But that being said, that's why I'm here. I believe that Spirit has led me on how to beat this, at least get a good jump start on how to beat it and overcome it from the very little bit of research I've done. There's people out there that's been suffering over 10 years. I ran into a lady who's suffered with it for over 10 years, and if you're not familiar with it, you could look it up or whatever. It could be very painful or whatever. I know that me personally, that I've suffered from little things like this, and this right here. See how it's all like puffed up and doing it, and my eye is swelled, and I don't know if you can see it, but there's little bumps in there. Now I believe these right here is actually where I'm pulling it out of my body, which I'll explain to you in a minute, and tell you that Spirit had led me to when I did it. I had, whether you believe in Spirit or not, I do. Little voice inside my head, thoughts or whatever that lead you to places and or to do things, and I believe nothing happens by chance. So, anyways, in here, the first thing in beating the Morgellons is getting the worms out and doing it to stop them from producing eggs or whatever they are. They look like seeds to me. Seeds, eggs, they do. So whatever they are. Like I said, I'm not a scientist. I have no medical background or whatever in doing it. Only what I've discovered myself, where I've been led with my spirit to do it. So anyways, it is my belief from where Spirit led me is that we have to remove the seeds. If we're going to beat it and we're going to overcome it, we have to remove the seeds, because they're just going to keep on going. Most dewormers that I've seen are doing, even like the flea and tick stuff or whatever, most usually just kills the worm or whatever, and do it. It usually doesn't kill the seeds or the eggs, and do it in most things. So you gotta treat more than once. What I know and what I believe is going to be a good jump in curing this, or for me, I've seen mass improvement just in the last couple months since Spirit had actually led me to that epiphany or whatever you want to call it, and do it. That I've seen improvement. Like I've seen wrinkles popping up and aging spots popping up or whatever, and doing. I don't know if you could see it from the research that I did and how I did it or whatever. I had seen a mole and took a picture of a mole, and when I did, it had actually pulled up dog mites, and I was like, what the heck or whatever doing. They said I don't know if I have multiple parasites in me, which it's possible. We have multiple bacterias and whatnot, and that do things. So it's just all over. There's things that it's just crazy. How amazing, even though disgusting at times, very disgusting at times, that it is, and how everything works and works together or works against each other in doing it. Like good yeast and bad yeast, kind of one of them things or whatever, and do it. But my disclaimer, back to, I'm not a medical professional. Before you do anything and everything that you see, or anything or everything you see me do, I highly advise you to consult your own doctor or do your own research and said I personally am doing my own research because when I went to the doctor, or the hospital, I actually went to 3 different hospitals and at least 2 different doctors seeking help with this. It was the most I could do from sitting there just going crazy because I know that something's in me and I'm trying to get it out, and they're not helping me. They're trying to tell me that I'm crazy. Even though I have pictures and videos, to say otherwise. So, anyways, they actually called social services on me. Said that I was transferring my delusion, or my parasitosis over to my daughter, or whatever. So, yeah, that didn't go over too well. And thankfully, the Lord was with me and He knew, and nothing came about it. But the fact that they actually did it was pretty messed up. So, anyways, back to what I was saying. Spirit led me when I first seen this and I first came across it or whatever. And Spirit led me to, you could see in animals. This is one of the things you can notice on them or whatever, and do it. The moles and whatnot. Can you see on his nose? Let me see. Right here, the lining and whatnot, how it's got the brown and then the spots going out. So I believe, like I said, the Morgellons is a form of Lyme disease from what I can see. And if you're familiar with Lyme disease, it has a distinct bullseye pattern. So that's why I believe that this is it, because even though when I first researched it, it said dog mites, it has the distinct bullseye pattern. If you look going through my head, it goes all the way in a circle, and there's the circle in the middle, or whatever, and do it, and then it just kind of goes in layers, and it spreads out, it just wraps out, kind of like this or whatever, and it's encasing my whole body, and do it. So, but that's one, and then there's I don't know if you can see real well. But, let's see, right there in his fur, there's a seed looking thing, or whatever. You get them off and out of my body everywhere. The animals as well, in doing it. And I show you some pictures of what it looks like in the microscope. But you can see in his eyes itself, how, let me get the glare out of there. Sorry if you can't do it, but you can see the eye boogers and whatnot in his eye, and you could actually see. Let me see if I can get a better picture. And do it. How he's getting the dark linings or whatever in his eyes. That's a sign of it, in my belief. And like I said, haven't had anything confirmed or whatever. It's just stuff that I'm figuring out from the little bit of research that I've done. He also gets patterns on him, and this is my dog, like this. I've actually taken and scraped them or whatever, and had actually seen worms coming out of them things too. So I believe that maybe that's the patch, the home, the nest. I don't know what it is, but I believe that it's relevant in it or whatever to get out. But that's what his fur looks like, and do it. That's after I had brushed him. After I brushed him and I wiped him down with alcohol wipes or whatever, kind of brings him out. And you can see it. Some of the things, that's why I'm saying seeds. This is some of the things that I have personally coughed up or spit out of my body, or gotten out of my body some way, shape, or form. I'll try to link some of the pictures, maybe in the comments or something, so you can blow them up and check them out yourself and see doing it. If you don't have a microscope, if you have a cell phone, it's got to be at least better than 4. I think my boyfriend's at the times, his magnified up to 10 times. And that's when we found it. My microscope, I don't know what the technical part to it is. I know when I zoom it in, it zooms times 4 or whatever. So it has to be at least that before you do it. But these are the age spots on my arm. and whatnot that this is causing. You can say it's sunspots or whatever, but they pop up out of nowhere. And I could actually take a razor knife, which is how I started treating it at first or whatever. I was just taking it and just scraping and exfoliating my skin with it, because Spirit had told me, like I said, that we need to remove the seeds. I believe that that's a big part of it, because it stops the other growth once the worms are killed or whatever. Won't get rid of them if you don't. Now, I was shown by Spirit or whatever, and do it one of the times I was doing it. Like, so whether you believe it or not, you could see the evidence for yourself in a minute if you want to stick around or whatever. But when I first started trying to rid myself of this or whatever, and doing it, because I felt like worms and stuff were crawling in my eyes, right, and doing it, and they'd be itchy, or they'd start running for no reason or whatever. So I would just take a Q-tip and I just go like this, just to get the little run out or whatever, instead of sticking my finger in my eye. And I do that. Well, not one time, it's happened more than once or whatever, but while I was doing this, when Spirit had showed me or whatever, these things, it looked like black little veins that were like wrapping up and down the Q-tip, and it was like so fast, like just like going all over. And it showed me or whatever where it, like, everything went black. Like I seen these veins and stuff going all down my throat and my neck and chest or whatever, and I believe it was like kind of concentrating on my heart a little bit, which I think that it does, because I have a hard time breathing sometimes. I get extremely exhausted. Part of Lyme disease or whatever too, to do. Parkinson's can come from it. Alzheimer's. I think from the little bit of research. Again, do your own research. I did minimum research. I just kind of go where Spirit leads me or whatever. Click here and there, get a little bit of information, and I kind of roll with it, and see if I can find things that work out, or if it don't, it don't. Kind of one of them things. So, anyways, when I did this, and I seen that, and I seen the black going up and down it, or whatever was the first. So it was the vein. Wasn't a few days later or whatever, I was doing it, and I seen this thing in my eye. I'm pretty sure it's my eye or whatever. I don't know if I actually seen it, if it was a vision or what it was, but I seen in my eye, I seen this thing, and all I seen was these like claw things going like this in my eye, right? And then all of a sudden it stopped doing that, and it was like standard, and then the middle of it opened up and something dropped out of it, seed, egg, whatever it was. I was like, whoa, that was freaky. I told my boyfriend and stuff at the time, told my neighbors, whoever, whatever, listen, because I'm showing them things that I'm dealing with, because they think I'm crazy. I'm like, look, I'm going to show you. Here's not, kind of one of them things. But anyways, it did that. It showed me that. Okay, and then and I believe that I found that in my pictures or whatever, and that I have evidence of that, because like I said, I have to go through and I have to organize everything and get it in a better layout or whatever, find a spreadsheet or something where I could do it and present it better. But I'll post some of them or whatever and do it. But these things that went down, they looked like they had little claws on them, right? It was like little nails, and it was just like digging in. Well, after that, I seen this thing where it looked like it was just standing up. It looked like almost like it had arms or whatever, and it was pushing these seeds or whatever, like down this chute, down this tube or whatever, and do it. And I believe that, like, again, I believe that I found evidence of that in here, whatever, and do it. And that's actually how we are going to get rid of them. Is I'm calling them a vein system. I don't know what it's called. I don't know what it is. So all I know is they're digging tunnels in our body. There are muscles, there are tissues, nerves, whatever. It's probably why it causes Parkinson's and Alzheimer's and all that stuff or whatever. And it makes sense to me. I don't know if it makes sense to you or not. But that's how we're going to get rid of them now. How I've been doing that is by taking a Q-tip. I believe a lot is like in the nasal system. I don't know where it started, don't know how to do it. I know that Lyme disease that you pick up, or Morgellons disease, the form of Lyme disease, you could get from tick bites, flea bites, mosquitoes, I believe even some bees. And I know that a few years ago I did have about on one summer when I was cutting grass or whatever, with, I don't know what they were, but I know that they stung me and they hurt worse than bees, and that sting actually lasted, like evidence of it, and I have pictures, actually lasted for months, bee sting or whatever. Even if you're allergic to them, it's going to swell up or whatever. Sometimes it just gets red or whatever, but usually it swells up. It could be however allergic you are to them. I don't know, but you're going to take the Benadryl, you're going to do whatever, the antihistamine, your EpiPen, whatever it is, you're going to take that, and then that swelling's going to go down. It usually goes down, within a week, no more than 2. I had signs of these things literally months later. Like 4 or 5 months later, I still had the areas were discolored and doing or whatever. And I don't know if that's relevant or what. I have no idea where I got it, what it's doing. I just know that I'm dealing with it, and I'm trying to deal with it and trying to do it. But the way that I believe that with what Spirit has showed me, like I said, is that to remove the veins with the seeds. And I believe that you can see this stuff the last few days. I've taken 2 different types of dewormers. On my first video, you could go and watch and see what I took or whatever. It was ivermectin and phenobenzodine or something like that or whatever together and do it. And like I said, I kind of went out on my own and did it. And I know that there are dangers that I read. So like antidepressants, certain antidepressants and stuff like that will counteract with them. So you need to try to find something else if that's the case. But we need to kill the worms, and we need to get the veins with the eggs out. And how I've been doing that, again, just taking a Q-tip, and I mean, you can go like this. You rub it over your eyes. Exfoliating the skin is important. I use a razor. I find that the best, because when Spirit gave me the epiphany or whatever about the seeds and how I'm going to say it and how I'm going to do it, they said, they told me it was kind of like a cancer. You know how if you ever had cancer or something like that, you went in for a biopsy or anything like that to see any kind of bad cells or whatnot. They take a sample, and they tell you it's clean or not or whatever. It's just where they've cut under the cells or whatever is bad, and it's clean, that there's no more bad cells in there or whatever. So it's area, and that's what we're going to do, because if there's seeds left, it's just going to reproduce and do it. So that's why I do this, and I just go like this. And I don't know if you could see, I could see my skin flying and stuff like that, and you can see that that's just dry skin and do whatever. But here's the thing, from my understanding from being in schools, skin cells are microscopic, right? You have to have a microscope to see them. So if you're seeing them fall on papers and doing that, it's because there's dirt or something in them, right? It's going to make it bigger and do it. At least that's my understanding. Could be crazy, could be wrong, maybe, but I don't think so. But, and like I said, I don't have the scientific background nor the equipment or know how to use equipment like that to even figure it out. I just know that this is what I've discovered from what Spirit has led me. So you see me scrape my face with the razor, and I just took the razor and I put it on this Q-tip. And what I'm going to do is show you, maybe, let me see if I can focus this in. Well, let me see if I can find that on here first myself, and then I'll get it to where it shows on. I don't know if you can see it with the light. I might have to change the lighting and do it. Okay, so this is what I'm going to do. I'll put this up. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so let's see. Can you see? Let me make this Okay. No, let's see. Times 4. That's about as good focus as I'm going to get it. So, can you see that on there? Whatever. What looks like a worm or something right there. Right? And then there's maybe a little seed right here, and there's little fibers here. Now this Morgellons, sorry, right here, it's a little seed, and then little fibers and stuff around it. Let's see. Let me see if I can twist it and show. I'm sorry, I'm a bad camera person. With this stuff, I am a little shaky. It does make me shaky, like I said. It's been for, I know, the last year and a half, wreaking havoc on my body. Because if the veins are any indication, then this stuff moves at an extremely fast pace. You can't see it that good. Sorry. Again, I'll try to link pictures or whatever, do it. I'll show you some other pictures that I did it. But if you just take even a rag Q-tip, you're gonna see seeds. They'll come from everywhere. They'll come from anywhere and everywhere. And do this and show you. Let me see. And sorry, having trouble focusing it. Let me see if I can do this. I'm sure you got the Q-tip. You see me wipe it over my face. And again, I can't get it focused in and doing. Let me see. There we go. Let's see. You see the little seed. Hold on. Right there. See the little seeds and stuff? I do that. Now, I have it where there's a little fiber or little hair with a seed on it. You see how it has just like multiple little seeds and whatnot. You can twist it. There's some of the seeds and stuff, a little bit of blood. I'm doing it from where I got it. Anyways, I'm trying to show you that I think this light I'm using so you can see me. No, I ain't even started on it. Dude, I was just giving an introduction or whatever and what I'm doing and all that stuff or whatever. Going to go to bed? I'll come and put it in on you. Thank you. Bye. Anyways, the trick to it, you can, like I said, just wipe it over, exfoliate in your skin. I use the razor blade. Kids, please do not try that. Get your mom to. There are better ways. I've used loofahs and I've used the scrubby brushes or whatever and do that. But like I said, I find the razor best for me and do it the quickest way or whatever and do it and pick it. But to do it, you just twist it and you're gonna feel it's gonna grab. You don't have to have, it's not the eyelashes, though it will grab some of them or whatever. It's not the eyelashes, but just twist it at the corner of your eye. You're going to do this the same for your fur babies or whatever and do it and heal it. I don't know how many litters of kittens and stuff that I have lost to this disease. At first I thought, when they first started getting the eye infections and whatnot, I thought it was just sores in the eyes from being held too much. Daughter wanted to play with them. They're so cute. They're little kittens or whatever. I thought that's what it was. So I do what we usually do or whatever, just like with the baby or whatever, it's got pink eye, you just wipe the eye with water or whatever and keep it clean. And that didn't seem to do nothing, and it would come out just nasty pus, like bad, just open it up and it's just everywhere. Kind of, I don't know, maybe like staph infection or something, I don't know. But I tried to give them antibiotics, and when I didn't get them antibiotics, well, it turned them septic. Killed them, like the very next day after I gave them antibiotics. So that didn't work. Then I went to, usually if kids got pink eye and whatnot, the doctors give them erythromycin or polysporin or something like that to put on their eyes and keep them moist and do that. And I tried that, and again, when I tried that, they turned septic or whatever. They died within a couple days, so that didn't work. So the last couple batches of kittens that I've had, I've just tried just flushing their eyes out with water, doing that last time before Spirited showed me, get the veins out. And didn't give it to me all at once. It wasn't like I had some big dream and I had the whole big picture, just kind of like little bits and pieces here and there, and you put together until you find it. Once you see, I guess, and do it, which is what I've been doing all day, every day, or whatever, and any chance I get. I'm driving down the road. May even see me if you're in the greater Cincinnati, Northern Kentucky area or whatever. I'm sitting there just driving down the road, just Q-tip in my eye, Q-tip in my nose, and whatever, do that. I do sometimes go like this, but that is not how it is going to get the veins. This is just going to get your big boogers out, or if there's anything up in there, and do it. It just do it like this. How I've discovered that you do it is just turn it in place. And you slowly turn it into place. And there's going to be, in me, in my nose, there's at least 3 spots in each nostril or whatever where the Q-tip will catch. And catch something. I believe it's the vein. Because when it comes out or whatever, I actually feel this. I feel a pressure pulling from several parts of my body. I feel it pulling up my arms, up my back. I felt it pulling on my legs. I get a pressure or throbbing or whatever as I'm doing this. I guess it's releasing from whatever it's kind of trying to attach to or tunnel through. I don't know. And I ain't got no camera kind of do that. Like I said, no scientific knowledge to do it, but it's my belief. So from what I just kind of gathered, put together, common sense, logic, or whatever you want to call it, is doing. But in doing this, it catches, and then it starts pulling, and you can feel this pressure, which is actually where this is, and why I think that the dewormers that have been taken in the methylene blue is something that I ran across or whatever, that I believe it's a dye they kind of put in our food, and they use for imaging in the hospitals or whatever, and do it. But it has been showing promising effects in fighting parasites. I think the doctors usually use it to treat some kind of blood disorder where your red blood cells doesn't carry oxygen very well, and it kind of helps with that. I forget the name of it. I said you could do your own research or whatever and do it. I don't dig into things. I've always kind of been a little dabbler, a little bit of this and a little bit of that, not really jumping in and having one full subject or whatever that I concentrated on. Props to anybody who does, because I admire you for that. There's too much stuff to learn out there. I don't want to concentrate on one thing, I just kind of go where spirit leads me. So always kind of been that way. But this in doing, you just turn it in little circles. See, right now it's grabbing, and right now as I'm turning this, and I turn it slowly because they break really easy. So it wasn't really hardly any force or whatever to do it. They break off really easy. But if it is the veins, that was wrapping around the Q-tip in my vision or whatever it was a vision, because I was wide awake when I was doing it. It wasn't a dream. I didn't wake up from it. But that it grabs hold of the Q-tip or whatever. So I've noticed though that sometimes to pull from different directions. Like if you twist it like one way, and you just slowly twist it in place all the way around your nostril until you find the spot where it grabs, and then you just keep it in that spot, and you just gently twist the Q-tip and twist it. And right now it's pulling back through, and I don't know if you could see my skin starting to bubble up, but I am feeling a pressure in the back of my head right now, and right in through here where it's doing. Instead of, I've been doing this the last couple of days with the treatment that I'm trying. Again, the ivermectin and the other dewormer, the Fenzo. I don't know what it is. It's in my first video. I'll try to link it in the comment section when I'm done with this. I'm new to making these videos. It ain't something I never really sought fame or anything like that. So I'm trying to heal myself and hopefully help heal some of y'all, because I thought my stuff was bad. Some of the pictures I ran across, I can't imagine the pain that you guys are in or that you dealt with and do it, because I know what it's done to me, and it's bad enough I have to go through it. I don't want anybody else going through it. So hopefully we can pull together and heal. And I know there are natural ways that I was learning that you could get rid of parasites, like pineapple. I was told pineapple is a good parasite thing. You could look up natural remedies. Papaya seeds. I was trying to do papaya seeds and doing. I don't know if y'all seeing this yellow tint or if it's just me seeing it from the light. Everything's looking like I'm turning yellow. It's probably just my eyes and doing it or whatever. But I'm pulling it through. I don't know if you could see my skin starting to bubble up and do it, but as you see, it's caught on something in there. It's not me just having a Q-tip shoved up my nose. It has a hold of the vein or whatever, and do it. And like I said, I'm feeling it right now. I'm feeling it pull here, and I'm feeling it pull up in the back of my head. Sometimes the pressure gets a lot. I felt it pull in my chest and my lungs. Sometimes when I'm doing it, it starts feeling like I've got an anxiety or something, or my breath gets labored. When things like that happen, I tend to just like break it off or whatever. If I'm by my microscope, I'll check it out in the microscope and see what we got. And you guys just see me doing that, and I think that's way too much light. Let me see if I can turn this around so we can get a better view of the microscope. Alright, let's see. Alright, so let me see if I can get you to see this. Can you see? Let me see if I can lighten it up. No, that's as bright as it goes. Alright, let me see. There's a jelly-like substance. Now, you could call it boogers or whatever. I guess part of it is, but I believe that the jelly-like system is part of it. I'm sorry if I'm not getting the picture in all the way, but you see, I have other better videos, like I said, and doing where you can see where, let's see, you guys can't see that good. It's too much light. Alright. I don't know if you can see this or not, but right here, can you see this line right here in there or whatever? I believe that's one of the jelly veins, and you can see one of the seeds right there. And if I twist the Q-tip, then at some point I believe we're going to run across a fiber. If I could do this, sorry, run across the fiber or something that's came out of there. Oh, I think I just seen one. Hold on, let me get it back in focus. Get it in view. Alright. Let's see. Can you see the seeds here? And here. I don't know if you guys are seeing it good. I'm not going to be able to tell until I stop the video and go back there. So let me see. I apologize. I'll link some more videos. Or I'll post about more videos where I have the actual videos of the stuff where I'm taking the Q-tip, and I'm not trying to talk and show you guys at the same time, so you'll see what's going on, because I just recorded my screen. It'd be a lot easier that way, I think, because I'm not trying to have this video. It's already 36 minutes long, and last time I think it took almost 4 or 5 hours for the hour-long video to go up. So anyways, this is the start. This is how you do it. Just twist it in circles, and if it's not, if you've made it all the way around your nose and it hasn't caught somewhere, then switch the Q-tip and start turning it the other way. Maybe it was just that direction or whatever. But expect, if you have them and you do it, to feel the pressure of them releasing. Now, what I have been doing, can you see where the tufts are, where my skin is raised, where it's going in the circle with the dot in the middle, right? I'm doing it, and it ripples out. It ripples out. You can see it like here and here and here and here and going, and you can see where my eye is swelled from where I've got, I guess, from hopefully the dewormer's killing the worms or whatever, and they're just kind of backing up in there or whatever in the jelly substance and whatnot with the seeds and backing up, and that's what's causing this. Can you see where it's raised and doing it? But you said it's a pressure and it's hurting, so I'm massaging it out. I think that helps break it up, and doing it, because I don't think that they're attached, like it's not like a stronghold or whatever, because like I said, I'm pulling them out constantly and doing it. But I was doing this for hours yesterday, and I've been doing it for the last couple of days, especially since I've been doing dewormers and stuff like that, because I'm tired of fighting it. I'm ready for it to be gone. I don't know about y'all, but I don't like knowing that I had this. I don't want to be in a part of the worm club or something. Kind of one of them things. So I'm trying to get them gone. And if you have any ideas, if you had any kind of success things that help you or whatever, do it. Please comment in the video and do it. Or if you know anybody that may be suffering from it, and you see little things that I'm showing you, like the little tufts in their hair or whatever, you see, and do it. That's not doing or whatever, that please share it. Maybe it'll help. Or do it. Like I said, maybe we could come together and find a cure for it, because doctors ain't wanting to do nothing except for call us crazy. I guess see where it goes and how much damage it can do. I don't know what it is. I'm tired of being the guinea pig, though. I'm ready for it to be done. Science background or like I said, I don't have none, but I do have a curiosity about my body, and I've always been fascinated with the human body and doing it. But yeah, there's one of the fibers with the seeds right now. Hold on, let me see. I get it in focus. Really? There's some. And you could call it nose hairs or whatever, and maybe some of them are. Like I said, I don't have the science background. I don't have the equipment, nor the know how to even use that equipment, chemicals, whatever, to truly figure it out. I just know this is how far spirits led me. And it seems to be working, because if you see me a few months ago, I was completely strung out on drugs. I had dark circles underneath my eyes. You could still see a little bit of the wrinkles right here, which is how I did it, because I noticed that this stuff built a barrier over top of, you can see that in my fingernails or whatnot, and do it. That's where I learned it most, or whatever else. Again, I'm going to link the pictures because it's a lot easier than trying to do this. But it builds a barrier over top of these tunnel systems or whatever it is that they're doing. And I think that's what it was doing, was building the barrier over it. So you gotta get the barrier off first. And when you do it, it looks like dead skin cells. Okay, whatever you want to call it. But when you look at them dead skin cells, you're going to find hair fibers, and you're going to find little seeds, and you're going to find other weird looking stuff in there, or whatever. I found all kinds of stuff. Looks like I'm a freaking walking petri dish, or whatever, and doing it. Again, I don't know what it is. Some of the things I've coughed up out of my body and do it. And speaking of which, I'm doing the way to get it out is through exfoliating the skin and do it, and especially in the sinuses or whatever. I just recently was able to purchase the Navage system, the nose cycling system or whatever, to do it for the sinuses, and they have the salt pods in there. And that is my belief, because there is a jelly substance in there or whatever I'm doing that's going to help a lot. One, to help flush out any kind of loose seeds or whatever that's going to be in there. And two, if you've ever taken salt and put it on a jellyfish or on a slug, maybe, and sit there and watch it disintegrate, I believe it's going to be the same with this. Can't prove it. Don't have the equipment or the know-how. But that's my belief. It's the spirit saying, or whatever, do it. So that's what I'm doing. I'll take a salt bath a couple times a week. Tea tree oil. When I went to the doctor's, I actually went to, because I seen it in my eye. I seen this thing going like this in my eye. And I actually went to the doctor's because I had a dream. And in this dream, I had been waking up in my dream, right? And my eye was itching. And I went like this in my dream. And when I went like that, something fell out on my shirt. I was like, what the heck is that? And I looked, and it was a worm. I was like, what? So I went in the bathroom, right? In my dream. I went in the bathroom, and I went like this. And when I went like this, I seen like 4 or 5 worms going across my eye. There was like 4 white ones and a tan one, I believe it was. Tan color one or whatever, going across my eye. I was like, whoa. So in my dream, I started picking at my eye, trying to pick the worms out, trying to get them. When I woke up that morning from that dream, my eye was all swelled and had the eye gunk in it and whatnot. And I was like, whoa. And it was really super sensitive. Maybe I was picking it in my sleep. I don't know. Whatever it was, there was something there and something going on. Lasted for a few days. Highly, highly sensitive. I went to the eye doctor. Told the doctor. They referred me to the eye doctor. Told the doctor my dream, and that I woke up like this or whatever. Again, think I'm crazy. Fine. I went to the eye doctor, and they, put dye in my eye, and they looked and said they didn't see nothing. I was like, Doc, I see this stuff literally. Looking in the mirror, I've seen it literally. Like, it was clear. It was a clear substance or whatever, but I seen it literally going up my eye, and then I felt like the worms were moving. And I actually have other videos where you could see little worms popping in and out of my thing. And she said that I didn't have that. And I seen it the other day, but I lift up my eye, and right here on the white part of my eye, I seen what looked like a worm, and I don't know if it's there again. I thought I seen it the other day. Maybe it's not, but it was like right in here. So the eye doctor had actually said, that was on my eyeball, mind you, not my eyelid. The eye doctor or whatever, I had told her and I had showed her or whatever, and she had actually said that it was blepharitis, and I don't know if any of y'all have ever had that, but according to her, it's an inflammation in the kind of tear ducts or drainage in my eye. She said it's got inflamed or whatever. The pores have got clogged. So she suggested that I use tea tree oil. Just wash my eyes, keep my eyes washed or whatever real good, and then I could just take a little bit of tea tree oil and just put it on my eye or whatever. And she said that helps because we have natural parasites on it. I don't know if any of you guys know that or not or whatever, but you can do your own research. Again, anything I say, and check out for yourself or whatever. Maybe find some better way than I did or where my spirit led me or whatever. But this is at least a start. and doing it. But she said take tea tree oil. So I have been using tea tree oil, shampoo and conditioner and body wash, thanks to my cousin suggesting that, actually, because I was just using regular just exfoliating or whatever and doing it to try to get rid of it. And she said that that helps with parasites, and not only does it help with parasites, but the tea tree oil itself or whatever keeps away fleas and ticks and mosquitoes too, or lice, if you have problems with lice and whatnot. That's a good preventative for that too. So it wasn't too expensive. I got a shampoo and it was, but it wasn't. A shampoo and conditioner combo, I think, through Amazon for like 18 or 20 bucks or something like that. Like I said, it's expensive, especially being a single mom. You don't have that. I actually had to put it on an affirm payment or whatever to pay for it or whatever. But I did it and I got it, and it seems to be helping clear up a little bit, except for the last 2 days, because I said I'm pulling this. I believe it's pulling it through. I believe that's exactly what it is, because like I said, I feel it pulling through my body. I believe that's how you're going to do it too. Also, hurry up and make it quick because it's already almost at an hour. It goes, our sinuses, right, drain out into our throat, in the back of our neck while we're sleeping or whatnot. So this stuff is all up in here. It's staying in our tonsils. I didn't put this together. Spirit led me to that way later or whatever. My ex-boyfriend at the time was still here, and I kept on feeling like something was crawling up the back of my throat, or like I was just getting, the phlegm balls in there where you have to. And I'm a smoker, so that's kind of normal or whatever. We do, and cough them up or whatever. But it felt like this stuff was crawling up the back of my throat. And one of the pictures that I had taken to the hospital or whatever with me to prove to it is some of the first things first signs I started seeing, like I got this like meat looking thing out of my mouth or whatever one day, like I had just kept half a freaking hamburger in my mouth or something. It was completely disgusting and weird looking. Took a picture of it, took a Google lens, did or whatever, and it was coming up with some crazy stuff like fetal abortion, some an embryo or something like that is what it came up with. But all kinds of stuff coming about, weird stuff or whatever. And the next thing I got, I guess, choked on my own saliva, and it was just filled or whatever. I felt like I had to do it, and I went to go, kind of clear my throat. And when I did, it kind of like came up. But when I spit it out and I spit it in the trash can, it happened to be a paper bag in there or whatever. It was just a bunch of white foam bubbles. Is all I seen. And then I sat there and watched these white foam bubbles literally crawling up the brown paper bag. I was like, what the? Took a video of it, showed it, tried to show the doctor or whatever. So this stuff is moving. This ain't right. This ain't, something's not normal or whatever I'm doing. So that's where it started. It's since in hand, all kinds of stuff coming up. Like I said, I'll start posting pictures or whatever and things that I found on me or off my animals and do it. But later date, not today. Instead, I'm trying to jump off here because it's already almost at an hour. But I did notice while my ex was here, I was in the shower one day and I felt like something was crawling up the back of my throat. So I just went to go gargle some water, right? And do it. When I did, I made sure that the water got like deep down, almost choked me, and a couple times it almost made me pass out or whatever. And doing it and get it because it feels like it's down here. Like usually when we're gargling, washing our mouth out, we're just gargling right here in the back of our throat. No, I was trying to get it like down in here where I felt it. And when I did, and in my first video I showed you how to do it because I did it. But when I still got it, when I did, I spit out all kinds of these black seeds everywhere. And then come my boyfriend and I was like, what the heck look at this stuff. And I did it again, and it did it again. So I think that this stuff is like staying down in there in the tonsils. So it's very important to gargle and gargle good. I guess you could probably use anything. I wouldn't swallow the stuff though, because when we swallow it, we're putting it down in our stomach, kind of doing, and we're not getting rid of it, right? Get it up and out. What was that Shrek says or whatever? Better out than in, I always say. Kind of one of them things, So, anyways, if I cough up phlegm, I'm spitting it out. I know I'm going back down in there or whatever, and my body was trying to expel it. Maybe rude, excuse me if you think it is or you think it's gross, but it's our body trying to get rid of something. Get rid of it, right? Anyways, back to that or whatever doing. Cats, dogs, animals, fur babies. I I am using alcohol wipes. Now, I know that you should just use water, and yes, it probably burns or whatever, but I am doing this on myself. I am on my eyes and doing it. I've opened up my eyes. I've done it because I have noticed that alcohol is what has worked best for me. Yes, it burns, but it's not burned half as bad as peroxide, and it's not burned half as bad as vinegar or bleach. I don't think bleach bothered me too much or whatever, but I just didn't think that it was that effective or whatever in doing it. But I wipe myself down with alcohol and stuff constantly to do it. It helps with the zits and stuff that pop up or whatever. If you got Morgellons, you know what I'm talking about. It helps with that and do it. So I've been doing it on my fur babies too. And I'll show you, because I got one sleeping here and one who has it to do it. So say hi to the little one. But you see its eyes. See how they're doing. They're mad at shut. So I'm just taking the alcohol wipes. I'm sorry. Hold on. I get you. Hold on. I know. Alright. Hold on. It's not wet enough. Hold on. He's alright. Alright, so. But it seems to kill the most. And then wipe the fur with it and everything. I think that helps. I'm brushing it and getting it out. I know. You'll notice when you do it, sometimes they'll start choking. And that's because when you start doing it to yourself, you're going to realize that when you're pulling the stuff, if you had random nose runs out of nowhere, it's probably Morgellons. Random eye tickles or tickles throughout your body, it's probably Morgellons. So it's just what I got off the kitten. I know. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Yeah, he's alright. He's alright. Alright. Yeah, I know. But I'm trying. Okay. Again, you probably find an easier way. Really not being mean to him, but see, it's alright, Mommy. It's alright. Alright. Anyways, I just wiped their eyes. I just wipe their eyes. And I wipe their nose, because it starts running when you start using a Q-tip and pull it out in your nose or whatnot. It'll start running. Sometimes you'll sneeze or whatever and do it. But I noticed when I was wiping myself and I smelled the alcohol. They don't like the alcohol at all. When I smelled it, it took my breath away. No, it didn't. And this isn't that strong. I guess these wipes are getting older or whatever. It's not that strong. But when I did it, it actually steamed my skin. You see how it's wrinkling up right here or whatever? That's Morgellons and stuff pulling it or whatever and do it. So when I pull that stuff out or whatever, it'll be better. And you'll see in a couple of days I'll come back and I'll post again and show you the progress and how far we made it. But this is what I do with them in the same. I know. It's alright. They don't always like this. It does hurt. So if they get being too agitated or whatever, and being they can't tell us or whatever, know that when you discover it for yourself, that you do it. And I just do the same thing that I did to mine. I just take it in the. Well, now you let me do it. Yeah. You see how it's licking or whatever its nose when you start pulling it or whatever, it starts pulling that vein out. It feels weird. You're going to feel stuff pulling through in different spots or whatever. And sometimes if it's big or whatever and do it, it's going to hurt. You could stop, always stop and return to it. What I do when it starts hurting me is I switch locations that I'm doing it from. Do it in my ears It's in your ears too, whatever. I do it in my ears, in my nose, and in my eyes is where I twist. I just twist the Q-tips like this. This is how you're gonna get it out. See, don't hurt them always, but see now it's starting to get. It's starting to pull more on the vein, so it's getting a little bit more agitated. Then I just stop, and then I'll go to the back side or something, and I'll pull it from there. And when that don't work, then I take it to the nose. And I just go at the side of the nose, and I just twist it on the side of the nose. It's alright. Yeah, it's alright, mommy. It's alright, mommy. Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. I'm helping. I'm just helping, mommy. I'm just helping. Yeah, it's alright. Can you get on my camera, please? Thank you. Go on, Vanilla. Get on. Go on. I'm not hurting him. You know I'm not hurting him. Yeah, you're okay. You'll tell. And you'll see it. In there. Yeah.
Is it okay if I take Mom?
Yep, if Mama wants to go. Alright, let me see. What do you think? Is it all better? Look out, Mommy. Look, rocking the camera. Look. See? All better. A little better. Yeah. Alright. Alright. All better. Alright, so I just wanted to get on here and show you guys that. That's how we'll do it. Like I said, I'm going to try to link some once it posts or whatever, because I'm new to the videos and doing, I'll try to link some of the pictures that I was talking about or whatever, about the veins and the hairs being in the veins or whatever. Just look for the jelly-like substance that's got the seeds and stuff, and you'll see what I'm talking about. You see the hairs through there, and I guess hopefully this helps you too. Like I said, I honestly believe that it's helping me. Do your own research, and then I will see you guys later. Thank you for your time.